happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today, I actually wasn't even gonna make a video on this. I just hopped in the garage and started working like 2 hours ago. As you guys know, I've been struggling with the fitment on this GTS hood. You know, in my previous video, I was talking about, well, I'm gonna take it off because it doesn't fit well. And I even started looking back at some of the stock hood, like when I first bought the car, the stock photos of the hood fitment, and I noticed that even my stock hood was sticking up on both sides a little bit. And I'm like, damn, so even if I go back to the OEM hood, I'm still gonna have this issue. I might as well try and figure out a way to fix the fitment because I don't think it's all the hood's fault. I've seen this on stock cars before and sometimes the fitment just isn't quite good. For some people, it's probably fine, but dude, it would just annoy me so much when I would look at the front of the car and then the hood is like hanging up on both sides and it's really low in the center. It just looked as if the hood was like too flat and the bumper had too much contour. So the reason I'm making this video is because A, I'm really excited because I actually fixed it. I figured out how to fix this problem and I'm gonna show you guys what I did today in order to do that. I know there's a lot of people out there that are running these style hoods or just aftermarket hoods in general, or maybe even OEM hoods, and this might help you guys a little bit on how to adjust everything to make it fit a whole lot better. All right, so with these cars, there are a ton of adjustment points. I think the first place that you wanna start is obviously if you get a new hood, you're gonna wanna start with all of the hood adjustments. You have those down there and then you have a couple back there. And honestly, like that part of it is the easy part. The difficult part, at least for me, was getting the bumper to really align with the front of the hood. So previously the hood would sit up on this side, and sink really low in the center. It almost just seemed like, well, the mold of the hood is just too flat and the bumper kind of goes like that too much and it wasn't gonna work out. So I was really bummed out because I really do like this hood on this car. I think it fits everything really well. It's not too over the top, but at the same time, I wasn't willing to sacrifice like fitment quality for the styling. So I was looking at the front of the car and I just started thinking, how can I make everything more flat up front to fit the flatness of the front of the hood? That way I'm not trying to adjust the hood to compensate for the front of the car. I'm adjusting the front of the car to compensate for the front of the hood. There's two key adjustment points for me that fixed all of this. The first being these 4 bolts right here. So when you undo these 4 bolts across here, it pushes the bumper down or up. This piece right here, this little plastic piece in here, actually holds the bumper on, but you can slide it in and out. So it almost goes at like an angle. Like if it goes in like that, it also goes down, which means that you'll need to adjust the bumper in or out. And for that, you use these Torx guys across here. So there's a bit of a mix of everything. So first I loosened all of the Torx bolts. Then I loosened these 4 bolts right here. And now remember, my hood was sitting really flat and low in the center. So obviously the bumper needed to go lower. I basically pushed it all the way in, and you can even see the adjustment points from where it was before. So that's how far in I went. You can see where the old bolt was right up there, and I pushed it down all the way. This is actually like almost all the way down. So what that did was align the middle, this part, with the hood. I noticed right away, okay, now I have the bumper matching the shape of the hood because everything is a bit more flat up front. And then what I did was I closed the hood, and with these being loose, I pulled the bumper out to adjust the gap accordingly to get it where I liked it. And so the second adjustment point is probably the most important because if you remember on the sides, the hood would stick up really high on each corner. So if we lowered the entire center of the bumper, we're still gonna have these little issues up here with the hood flapping up on the edges. And I started thinking about how is this bumper secured to the car? What points would actually allow this bumper to go up or down? And it has everything to do with the headlights. You look right here, you have these little tabs on your headlights. Now these lock the corner of the bumper in. So then I was thinking, if I can adjust that headlight up a little bit, then I can form the bumper to come up a little bit on the edges, which in turn, with the center being lower and the headlights being higher, everything will be a little bit more flat. Now I didn't need to make a ton of adjustments, but I just needed to make enough in order for it to fit just a little bit better because mine wasn't terribly off. I had spent a few hours to get it to a really good point, but it just wasn't quite where it needed to be. And so in order to adjust the headlight, what I did was loosen this Torx right here, loosen that Torx right there, and then also loosen that Torx in the back. The final adjustment point is this little 10mm right here. So there's 3 adjustment points in the back that you need to focus on. 10mm, Torx, and Torx back there. So once I had all of those loose, the headlight dropped down a little bit, which told me right away, okay, we're in the right area. This is exactly what we need to be working with. The easiest way that I found to do this is I took a little crowbar, And I went in here, and with all of those bolts being just a little bit loose, I applied some pressure to this crowbar, which pushed the headlight up. This took a few tries to get it to the right level, but once I had it up to the point where I was happy with it, I basically just held this down and tightened in these 3 bolts at that point. And that was all the front bumper needed in order to meet up with this hood, because we flattened the center and brought up the sides. So now I'm gonna drop the hood for you guys and show you what it looks like now. I haven't done this side, but I have done this side, and I think that this side is nearly perfect. We could probably get it a little bit closer, but it's nearly perfect. Let me show you. So this is what we are at right now. I actually have a couple of washers, like right here where you see bulging up a little bit. I have a couple of washers in between the bumper and the actual bumper support underneath. So I think I'll take one of those washers out, which should drop it down a little bit, and I'll try and adjust the side of the headlight to even bring it up a little bit more. So over here, you can see that everything is just still a little bit high. Remember, I haven't adjusted this headlight yet. But when you adjust these headlights, it also pulls up the bumper. So you're almost just flexing everything to be a bit more flat. But before I did any of this hood was deeply sunken into the bumper. It looked really, really bad in the center. Right now it's almost perfect, but I might bring this bumper up just a little bit more to meet up with the hood. It's nearly perfect. So something like this is obviously just gonna take a lot of trial and error and minor adjustments here and there until you get to the point where you're really happy with it. But just looking at this now is a major improvement over what it was before. So you can see right there where it's still kind of just bulging up a little bit over the bumper. So once I adjust this headlight, that should fix that a little bit more. But all of this makes me a lot happier with this hood. I didn't want to have to get rid of this hood because I actually really do like the hood. I just really wasn't willing to sacrifice fitment for some sort of styling accessory on the car. If you have a darker car, it is so much easier to get away with weird fitting parts like this because you can't really tell. Everything is dark and it's a little bit harder to see, especially on like black cars. On a white car, you see everything. So fitment has to be A1 if you just don't want the car to look like really goofy. All right, so that is enough rambling. I'm gonna go ahead and fix the other side now. Basically, we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're just gonna take off the tray in here, which is a series of 8mm bolts all the way around. This pops right out. And then we'll go ahead and attack the mounting points inside on the back of the headlight and loosen that one up top and just lift it just a slight bit. This side wasn't as bad as that side. So I knew if I could fix that side, I know that I can fix this side pretty easily. But when I do this, when I make the adjustments inside of there and lift the headlight up, I actually leave the bumper attached because then I can just lightly tighten everything, hop back around, close the hood, and see where it's at. And if I have to make adjustments, I can just go from there. There's really no need to adjust all of those torques up front that hold the bumper in until you're adjusting the actual bumper in and out. All right, so now for the fun part, got this guy right here. And I'm not gonna loosen it all the way, I'm just gonna loosen it enough to where I can make adjustments. And we have this one hidden all the way back here. These are also a little bit loose, which tells me that this has been adjusted before or removed. That should be plenty for that. And then the last one is this 10 mil right up here. You can see everything actually started moving down a little bit when I did that. And so now I just use this because it's easier to get leverage, but with all of that loose, I can go in here with my crowbar and just slightly lift up. See how it's lifting up a little bit? So that's what I'm gonna do. I need 2 hands, but I'm gonna lift it up just like that and then tighten those back down. All right, so you can see where it was before with the mark below that. We moved it up just a little bit. I might have gone a little high on this side because it really didn't need too much of an adjustment, but now without touching anything up top, I'm just gonna leave this pretty loose still. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it. And this is the fun part. Let's see if it worked. Still need to make adjustments. So obviously not the most fun, you gotta go back and forth a bunch to get it right, but we'll get it done. What is up? It is a new day. Just wanted to show you guys where we finished off with the 340. Battery ended up dying on the camera yesterday. So, yeah, this thing looks freaking insanely good. And I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. It did take, obviously, quite a bit of time to get to this point, but yeah, man, this is where I finished off with it. And, you know, like I said, it was really just a matter of going back and forth and making small incremental adjustments all the way across on the bumper, even using some little washers like under some of the bolts that hold up the bumper to the bumper support. And then, of course, the headlight adjustments and whatnot to kind of just make things fit just right. But yeah, man, I'd call this one a success. Really, really happy with it now. I'm not gonna take this hood off anymore because I actually like the way it fits. I also did a little bit of work with the fender gaps as well. There's like a 10mm right here and a 10mm up there that you can adjust. Same thing with the other side. And after adjusting both of them, I think that, I don't know. I mean, I've seen stock BMWs with worse hood fitments, you know, so I really can't complain. This thing looks phenomenal at this point. So yeah, you guys, there's really no way around it. It's gonna take time, it's gonna take trial and error, but I'm just relieved that I got it to fit the way that I want it to, because I really do like the GTS hood. It was just that fitment was just killing it for me. And so now we're money, man. The thing looks really good. I do wanna say that if you are adjusting the headlights, like how you saw I was adjusting the height of the headlights, you gotta keep in mind if you're doing that, you could actually adjust like the angle of the headlights as well. So you could have potentially uneven headlights. There are ways to adjust that as well. I found a couple of videos online. I'll have them linked down below if you end up in that situation, or if you just have like off-center headlights in general. The easiest way to figure that out is obviously just to pull up to a wall when it's dark out, point your headlights at them and kind of look at it and measure your adjustments from there. But mine seemed fine, so I don't think I need to adjust anything on that end. So yeah, you guys, hopefully this video helped you out. This is like something that I've been battling with for a long time, just trying to figure out a way to get this thing to fit. And I'm really relieved that I didn't have to A, pay someone to do it, and B, was able to find a way to keep my GTS hood. So anyways, guys, hope this video helped you out. If you have anything you want to add, feel free to comment down below. Appreciate you guys. Love you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.